Sawtooth Dave, what's up, y'all? Testing the audio here because, well, middle of the week, my phone decided to break up on me, so I actually get it back working, but I traded it in, got from a 14 to a 15. I think that's what I did. But the little plug-in port at the bottom of it, now the mic that I used to use won't plug into the bottom of this phone. So I don't know if I need an adapter or a new mic. I'll look into it, I guess. But we on the kind of the headphone thing right now, what do you call it? So it may sound different. I don't know. We'll try it, see what happens. If it sucks, it sucks. It is what it is, right? Well, I ain't got a whole lot to talk about this week, carrying the GF1 Bowie. I ain't got a whole lot to talk about this week. Just gonna ramble. It is what it is. I'm so amped up for Blade Show. It's like it was your kid, like a couple days before Christmas. That's kind of what I feel like right now. Like just real anxious about getting to Blade Show. Been a weird week for me. Wife had to go back to Maine for a little while, take care of family business and stuff. So I thought I had more time, like messing around in the shop and that sort of thing. But worked a few days with the other team, doing paperwork and all that other crap. But I got busy, man. You know how it is. Life gets you busy at times. So I guess what I'm going to talk about on this one is pretty much just like future projects. What is Dave going to do? So I think a lot of people found it, and this channel seemed to grow pretty heavily when I started doing the regrinds. It was never my intention to grow the channel by doing regrinds. It was my intention to get better at grinding with letting me grind on your knives to get me better. Pretty much that's why I did it for free and all that other things. And quite honestly, I got a little burned out on that. Like I don't know if it's a week-to-week thing or the expectations of me not wanting to leave your knife sitting here in my safe or in this room broke down or whatever the case may be. But I guess I got anxious about trying to do it, so I put that stress on myself of trying to get it done as soon as possible. And it's pretty evident now that I'm not doing anything. All the work that I have for anybody is gone at this point. I don't have any other thing scheduled or doing at this point. So now the stress is off, and now I'm like, did I like that? Because the pressure of having to work for somebody makes me work harder. It seems kind of funny, but like I've gotten my marching orders for work for so many years that when I come out here by myself idly, I think about doing a bunch of things, but I don't end up focusing on one and doing it. I'm bad about trying to focus. I got to make my mind up to do just that and don't look at nothing else, and then I can get something done. But I'm bad for that. I really am. So like the pressure of, hey, I got 3 knives to regrind, and then I want to refinish this one, do that one, add thumb studs here, whatever, that kind of thing kept me organized personally. So I think what I'm going to do, and I think you can probably, I got a cool text from Lee this week. He was kind of thanking me about some of the regrinds I did for him, a couple of regrinds I did for him. And it kind of changed my mind because I was thinking about being done with regrinds. But after I get a cool text like that, I was like, you know what, man, like it's still fun. I enjoy doing it. I just don't want to do it to the extreme that I was doing it before. So I'm going to say like, probably do 1 a week, maybe 2 a week. Preferably on a knife that I actually care about versus just a, random knife. A lot of the knives I've been doing are for people like, and I'm not saying I just have to do regrinds for that sort of thing, but I want to do regrinds that are going to get me better as a grinder, not just kind of like, or at least keep my skills up as a grinder versus like some of the stuff that I've been doing for like the little tiny knives and little thin knives. Like I never really want to do that. I mean, if I'm moving into making and that sort of thing, that's not something I have desire. Will I go back and gain those skills? Probably, but like right now I'm not trying to improve those skills because I don't really care about that style of knife. I hope this makes sense. And I kind of learned this as I was regrinding. I did my VXC this week, and if I have a way to, I'll try to put that picture in here. But like I said, new phone, some stuff's working, some stuff's not. I thought I got locked out of YouTube, which I was like, well, I guess I'll start another channel. But it ended up working after a while. I couldn't remember my password, but Google remembered it for me after I signed into Google, so that worked out. But it was a little bit of a crazy moment of me thinking, well, what am I gonna do now? Like, but not having a phone for like, I don't know, it's probably like 6 hours or something, maybe a little more than that. Yeah, my mind was like, I don't know, do I really want to keep doing this? But I guess you always go through that as a social guy. Like it takes a lot of time to do knife community stuff. Instagram's like another one. Like I used to post pictures on Instagram as regularly as I could, but I'm kind of a little lackadaisical on that now because I don't feel like Instagram gets the traction it used to get. I used to like personally just looking at pictures. Now it's turned into videos or people showing unboxings, and I just want to see knives. That's all I really care about. So like I use Instagram to kind of talk to people and stay up on what's out there if I have time. You know, if I flip the page and there ain't a knife on there, or someone's got a box they're fixing on, I just scroll right past that. I don't even pay attention anymore. So personally, I got a short attention span when it comes to that, apparently. Where am I going from this? So I think what I want to do is, if you got a regrind you want to do, or like simple mod, I don't want to get involved when I'm spending like a whole day on someone's knife or something like that. But you know, simple mod, acid stone wash, regrind, something like that, like added thumb studs and stuff. I could do stuff like that, you know, like maybe like a hole in the blade or something. Let me know. I did do one for Evan this week and one for Steve this week, and if I have the intelligence, or if the app will still do it, I don't know if it will or won't, I'll try to like impose it over top of me talking, or maybe like half the screen or something. We'll see what happens. But if you got that kind of thing, feel free to contact me. I'm not going to do this until after Blades. So when I get back from Blades, it'll probably be like, you know, basically the third weekend in June. So that'd be what, the 14th-ish, somewhere in there, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there. Whatever that weekend is, that's when I'll be back and kind of sort of taking orders from that point forward. Orders, I guess it's the wrong way of paying it. I'll do it. But what I'm going to do is have a minimal fee, you know. So let's say a regrind is $40 or something. That basically includes shipping, because the pain in the butt of, hey, that's shipping, how much did shipping cost? And so let's just say $40. $40 ought to cover it, right? If you want something more, thumb studs, some mill work, something like that, we'll work it out for a case-by-case basis. But I'm looking mainly, if you got bruisers, that's mainly what I want to learn and get better at. Not necessarily learn, but just get better at. This GF1 that I showed you at the beginning, I was going to cut like a little finger groove in it, fuller or whatever, to pull the flick off. But then when I changed the studs, another guy on Instagram asked me about the studs I changed on one of Sean's knife a while back. I'd put these thumb studs in it, and I didn't have any more, but like, I'll just order some. And when I ordered them, after I got them, I was like, man, I got a GF1, I should just do that. So I just changed the studs, and yeah, it works fine. No need to put a fuller in it or anything like that. But I have learned with the mill I have, and sorry about this rambling, because like, I just off the cuff, I had no idea what I was gonna say when I walked in here. But I was messing around in the mill today, and the main thing was just trying to find, I was trying to get distance to holes. I'll actually show you a little piece because you can still see some of it, but it's basically a 1/4-inch hole and then a 3/16 hole. And I was trying to get the space in a certain distance apart. Well, on a mill, you should be able to dial that right in, right? There's a thing called a DRO, or digital readout. That's basically, you drill one hole, you know, ream it, and it's your 0, and then you move it that linear distance to that next hole, and it should be exactly that distance, but that DRO is not holding it. So what I figured out with that mill is, there's another one I did too. Maybe I'll try to put it in here too. I don't know, but I did some hard milling on it, but it didn't come out like I wanted it to, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. But basically, that mill has so much play in it that when I'm milling, the mill itself is actually moving. So no matter what I do to the fixture or the blade or whatever I'm working on, it's still moving a little bit on that table in the ways, whatever you want to call it. And also I'm having a hard time controlling some of the Z2. So basically the machine's just got a lot of slop in it, which is fine for what I paid for it. Like, it's pretty much, if you think about it like it's a drill press that you can control the speeds on more, it's justifiable for the amount of money I paid for it. I just wanted more precision. So I'm learning that I don't have the precision I want out of that. So I really got to get that CNC fixed. The CNC mill will probably give me more of the precision that I'm looking for. You know, I'm so used to working with high-end precision stuff, to come back down and work with manual mills as a whole was a step back, but I could still control it if I had a good mill. I just don't have a good mill to control that stuff on. So kind of doing stuff the wrong way. Does that make sense? Like, to do it right. But anyway, the reason I was doing that was in, you know, the process of learning how to grind, I screwed up some of my knives. So I'm going back through it, and I'm reblading them. So I want to try to learn how to reblade. So that's basically the next big step that I want to do, is start reblading knives. So this guy, if you remember that one, had a different blade on it, and I tried to do something different, but I ended up messing it all up, and then I tried to fix that mess up, and that's what's left of nub of that. So this part of it's good. I just went too thin on this part, and then when I was going to try to fix it, and as I kept trying to go up and up and up, the blades just kept getting thin and thin and thinner. So I just totally screwed that one up. It's been months ago that I did this. I think it was last year actually when I did it, but I figured it's a good opportunity to go ahead and reblade it. So I've got a blank cut out, so you can kind of see that's what I was doing, the 1/4 inch and 3/16 hole to kind of match that too. See that pattern there? So, you know, just roughed out, just literally I just cut it out on an angle grinder right now. So I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway as far as shape goes. Like I kind of sort of know in my mind what I want to do, but until I get there, I'm just going to feel it out kind of thing. So working towards those reblades, and that's kind of sort of what I want to do, is reblades on stuff that's like, well, I guess not that many people do reblades, but knives that are like are one-offs. I don't want to do production knives. So like if you got a cold steel, just say it because I really like that knife. Let's say you got 8010, and you're like, man, I wish that knife was like, I don't know, a 1/4 inch thick or something. It's not really my thing, man. Like I'm not. I want to do more of the. You can't like a maker quit making knives now, or you know, you can't find a replacement or whatever. Like that's the kind of stuff I want to go more into. So the main thing on these knives is like that relief, or the, you know, the angle cut. I don't know if it's going to come out in the video how that's cut at an angle. It's not straight. It's figuring that out per knife and getting it right. So like it's probably going to be a little bit of trial and error per knife. I could copy what is already there geometry wise, and then obviously in the long run to be improving it to make it better kind of thing. So these are all things that I have to kind of learn as I go. And then obviously with the equipment I got, like how to do it with the equipment I have. Getting a CNC will probably help me I might obviously have one, but getting it running will probably help me with this. The other like main thing that I want to get doing, and he announced it the other day on a live, so I figured that at this point it's kind of out there. But I was talking to Sharif Manganos about possibly doing a knife for him. Like he sent me the file. I've got it converted into Mastercam at this point, but it's like some of the things didn't come through, and it's basically the way he programmed it was for like a Chinese company to do it, so some of the dimensions ain't going to work the way I wanted to do and that sort of thing. So it's got to be a little more of a collaboration than it is just to take the file and make the knife kind of thing. But I think that's going to be a good start for the first knife, because Sharif has a lot of the engineering, mechanics kind of stuff already figured out. Like I don't have to figure it all out myself. I can actually ask him, hey man, why'd you put the detent here, or why'd you make the lock bar here versus here? He can answer those questions and help me get better at what I'm doing, right? He's got some experience under his belt. He's a designer by trade anyhow, so you know, like I think for me, having been a machinist, you give me a print, I'll make you to the print, send you the part. Like this is easier for me to like take some of the brain work out of it, let the smarter guys figure it out, because it ain't me, and then I kind of sort of put it into motion. I think what's going to happen, probably be my first attempt at making a full knife will be for his design, and somewhat of a collaboration. Like I said, I'm not sure what it's going to end up being, but I got kind of an idea in my back of my mind, and it's kind of sort of like, I think what I'd like to do, you know, obviously this one with Sharif's pretty much going to be the biggest challenge, and I guess try to get it right. But if I get it right with that one, I think what I'm going to try to do is, like, if people have a design, I'm going to do like a 1-for-1. Like I'll make you what you want with your design, but by me making one for your design, part of that price is going to be letting me make one of your design my way. So like, let's take Sharif's for example. I think the blade shape on the blade length on his was something like 3.6 inches, which, you know, for me is a little bit on the smaller side. But let's say if I make it a 4-inch knife and change the profile and make it taller, and then instead of making the blade out of say 150 thou stock, let's say I make it out of 1/4 inch stock, or say 200 thou stock, or whatever I decide to make it out of. That's kind of sort of what I'm leaning towards trying to do. I'm sorry, it's a total ramble video. I ain't even showed you all knife. It's pretty much me standing here BS. Oh, so another one. So we were talking about it. This is between Edgy American Shane, Billy from Apex Alchemy, and myself. And actually was just talking to Billy about it, and then kind of sort of, he said, hey, give me a challenge, and then sort of thing. I think I'm a little more geared up than both those guys are. I was like, all right, let's do this. And I was ready to make something and send it like the next day, and they're both kind of a little bit slower in the process. But there's a whole YouTube faction that kind of does challenges, and like the latest one was like a Vikings challenge or whatever else. But so we started doing the Angry Tanto challenge. So this is my first, you know, I'm not a fixed blade guy. This is my first attempt at a fixed blade, basically. And that was my first design. And the whole process was that basically I was going to take it like this, and I was going to send it to Billy or send it to Shane and let them do what they want to with it, then send it back and kind of keep it rolling until we're kind of all three happy with what the knife is, or if there's a way to improve it, like say, hey, you should do this, like cut a fuller in here or something like that. So I just basically profiled mine, and it's pretty much sitting here going, what do I want to do next to it? Do I want to put a fuller in it? Do I want to mill anything to it now? Do I want to hard mill it? Do I want to send it off and get heat treated or what? So I'm kind of waiting for those two dudes, and I'll probably see them at Blade, so I'm kind of going to wait Blade and kind of see what, but I will make a fixed blade or two. I'm just not a fixed blade guy, so when this one's done, Scott said, thanks, Steve's getting this one. He's already claimed it. That's his whenever I got done with it. So it's not something I'm really doing to keep kind of thing. It's just a fun project, I guess. So I guess, man, 15 minutes of me sitting here BSing, and I ain't showed nothing or done nothing. Here's another one I'm going to do in the future, is that Zermano tier. Then you get screwed up the grinding on that a little bit. So I could probably fix some of this blade, but I already did a frame chop on it too. This was the XL. But I think I want to reblade this whole thing and make it go a completely different direction. I was kind of staring at it the other day, and I was like, maybe I'll try to fix it. But I think ultimately, I think I'd rather just make a new one. So you can see it's kind of fugly right now. Once again, I did that months ago. I think I did that in October or something like so. It's kind of fun to show my screw ups too. But it's been a while, so yeah. So I guess kind of sort of drop your comments, thoughts, if you think I'm going the right direction with this whole thing. I got to progress forward, and obviously, once I get the CNC programming that stuff for Sharif's knife, will probably be like a little bit more of a priority, get the mill running to kind of do it. But I still kind of want to do these other projects. Like I think honestly, learning and there's really no rush on it because Sharif's not in a rush either. So it may be a year project. I would like to let it not be that long, but who knows. But doing the reblades and kind of learning how to cut that lock face in the backside of the blade to make it work right, I think pretty much the priority at this point. I think once I get that down, maybe I'll jump on a heat treat. I think right now I'm just going to send it off to heat treat. And then mess around with a couple fixed blades here and there. Like, I don't expect a lot of them, but just something fun between me, Shane, and Billy to kind of improve all our skills, or at least hope to improve all our skills. I don't know. I guess we'll see what it is. Like I said, super excited about Blade Show. That's pretty much all that's been on my mind here lately. Just I want to have fun at the Blade Show. So I'm going to leave it here. Y'all hope y'all have a great Memorial Day weekend. 17 minutes of me just running my mouth. If you make it to the end, thanks, man. Y'all be cool. Later.